Hello, I'm Mike Grasher, Chief Financial Officer of the Fortegra Group, a global specialty insurance company headquartered right here in Jacksonville, Florida. On behalf of Fortegra, we would like to welcome you to the 2022 High School 9-12 Fortegra Basketball Invitational presented by CSI Companies. At Fortegra, our mission is to deliver reliable risk management solutions. We're also committed to giving back to our local communities. That's why we're proud to sponsor the 5th annual Fortegra High School 9-12 Basketball Invitational at Florida State College of Jacksonville. If you'd like to learn more about our career opportunities here in Jacksonville, please visit Fortegra.com. Best of luck to all of the incredible student athletes playing here today.
We welcome you to the championship game of the 5th annual Fortegra Invitational, presented by the CSI Companies. It's the unanimous #1 team in the First Coast, the Providence Stallions, taking on the Nease Panthers. Hello everybody, welcome courtside here at the Florida State College at Jacksonville. Sean Salisbury with the 2-time regional champ, Coach Toby Frazier. Look, this is all you can ask for at this point in the year. A month in, and we have some of the best Jacksonville basketball has to offer.
You know, it's a great feel right now, Sean. It has a district championship, regional final type feel to this game. Two great teams from our area. I'm excited to watch this game tonight between these two great teams.
Well, let's see how these two teams got here after big wins in the semifinals last night. Starting with Providence, they had all they could handle against a very versatile Oakleaf bunch.
You know, they have a great trio in Mason Lee, Chris Arias, and Jalen Robinson. They're an explosive bunch. Tough test last night that they passed against a tough Oakleaf team. Interested to see if they can duplicate those efforts tonight against this methodical but smart Nease team.
Yeah, people forget Providence trailed 10-2 in the opening minutes, but then Jalen Robinson just took over in that second half. Mason Lee helped get the lead for Providence in the second quarter. Some timely buckets, but just seemed like any time Providence was pushing the pace, they were getting baskets in transition. Oakleaf had an answer, and the Stallions really had to learn a lot about themselves after just flat out dominating everybody to start the year.
You know, it was their first time this season facing some type of adversity on the court, at least facing a deficit, and they overcame that struggle last night. A great job by Mason Lee, offensive rebounding, which weathered some storms for them. And Jalen Robinson finished well in the half court to get them over the hump ultimately to win that game last night.
Oakleaf had a chance at the end of regulation to win the game, but then Brady Patterson, of all people on that stacked Providence roster, had two big buckets to start overtime. Jalen Robinson with an and one there, and it was enough for the Stallions to ride out a 58-53 win in overtime. Then in our second semifinal, Nease came out firing. How good was Jake Larson when he made 5 threes to help propel the Panthers to a big-time win?
You know, Jake was cooking with grease, gas, and oil last night. He had it going. You know, his teammates recognized that he's the best shooter on the floor, and they did a great job of penetrating and kicking out and finding him.
Was 5 of 10 from behind the arc. Larson 17 led all scorers, and it was a total team effort on both ends of the floor. Sandalwood held at just 23 points, shut out in the first quarter as the Panthers once again reached the championship game of the Fortegra Invitational after they did it last year. Providence is a 2-time champ itself as we take a look at our bracket before game 12 of 12 of the Invitational. Camden County, Orange Park, and Oakleaf with wins today. Who will raise the trophy at the end of the night? It's two of the best in Jacksonville. According to the News for Jack Super 6 this week, it's #1 Providence and #6 Nease. Stick around. We have our players to watch coming up next.
FSCJ is here for my future.
My inspiration.
My next chapter.
My American dream.
My passion and creativity.
For my first step.
Whether it is your first year in college or you are looking to start a new career, FSCJ is here for you.
You take some pretty big steps in life. And sometimes those steps can be expensive. Which is why your credit union is always here to help you save. With zero checking fees and thousands of surcharge-free ATMs, the savings that happen every day really add up. Find out what over 100 million credit union members already know and visit your credit union today.
What makes us unique is just service. We control as many variables as we can. We do all of our own decorating, we do trophies, we do banners, and now we create our own uniforms in this building with this new sublimation process that we have. Just the last 21 years just have been incredible at how the business has evolved.
My name is Roland Bell. I've been with Bono since 1990, and I'm a pit boss. I started out as a dishwasher, and then I went from dishwasher to a prep. And after that, I wanted to learn how to cut. And here I am now, been cutting since 1990.
There's something special about cooking out in the backyard. Beautiful out here today. There's nothing like cooking home with your family and sharing food with the people that I love. Barbecue is all about bringing people together.
Because everybody loves barbecue.
A roof that was built 21 years ago. We'd had a few leaking issues and just wanted to be prepared before hurricane season. We have a company where we do electrical contracting. Knowing what it takes to go to a construction project, I was very impressed with the orchestration of this entire project with Covenant. They, I would say, under-promised and over-delivered, so I would highly recommend them.
FSCJ is here for my start and finish.
My support.
For my future.
FSCJ is here for my comeback.
Whether it is your first year in college or you are looking to start a new career, FSCJ is here for you.
Welcome back to the Fortegra Invitational presented by the CSI Companies. Getting ready for tip-off between Providence and Nease. Sean Salisbury, Toby Frazier with you again. A lot of great players to choose from in order to see who's going to be the guy who will be the difference maker in this championship game. Well, starting with Providence, they really pride themselves on being a team that's deep 1 through 10, but it's really the big three that get it done for them night in and night out.
You know, Chris Arias, Mason Lee, Jalen Robinson, they are a terrific trio. They play well together, good vibes on the floor. They all are dynamic and have different strengths. They are the gears that make this Providence team go.
Mason Lee, so incredible with a nice run yesterday to help put Providence ahead after a slow start. But make no mistake, the often forgotten about Jalen Robinson, still part of that big three. Robinson can really pack a punch offensively and defensively.
You know, he's so explosive getting to the rim. You know, I talked about yesterday how he only needs 2 dribbles outside the three-point line to get to the basket and finish strong. And when you can do that, you have a bright future.
Meanwhile, for Nease, they need their 2 best players to play at their best level. Larson, who had a team-high 17 points yesterday, can really shoot it from deep.
You know, Jake can stroke it. You know, he's confident, fundamentally sound, always holds his follow-through, plays off balance, catches and shoots very well. You know, he is someone that you have to worry about.
And meanwhile, Bryson Utter, a guard who averages about 20 points per game, can really go off at any time and is a true 3-level scorer.
You know, Bryson Utter averaging 20 points in high school is very difficult. You know, it shows how efficient he is and how consistent he is. You know, I'm interested to see how Utter and Larson can handle the pressure of these Providence Stallions. They pressure so well. It's going to be a tough task tonight, Sean.
Utter had 17 points himself in a win on Thursday in the first round of this Fortegra Invitational. What does the championship game have in store for us? Tip-off between Providence and Nease is coming up next. Both teams head to the benches, getting ready for a bit of a late start, about a 7:15 tip today. Both coaches were just joking about it after such big wins the last 2 days. That wait to 7:15 is that much longer when you get up on Saturday morning.
You know, it's a long day. It's the night before is a long night. You try to cross your T's and dot your I's. You stay up all night trying to make sure that you have your kids prepared. You try to take extra look at film. And then you get to a resting place till you say, hey, the kids have to do their part. But coaches go through that struggle, especially when you play a late game. And, you know, that's the fun part of it, Sean.
Seeing the starting lineup from Providence in the road, black and teal jerseys, led by the big three, Mason Lee, Chris Arias, Jalen Robinson. They will be joined by B.J. Boykin getting the start today, and also Brady Patterson. Of course, Providence coached by the legend, Jim Martin, the winningest active head coach in the Jacksonville area. Meanwhile, for Nease, we get our first look at Andy Gonzalez, going to be another important guard, along with Jake Larson and Bryson Utter. It's going to be really the three guards forwards. Basketball's positionless at this point anyway, huh? What do you expect out of Nease's trio themselves? What do they have to do, especially early, to make sure Providence doesn't go on a big run like we know they can?
They're going to have to take care of the basketball. You can't have live ball turnovers. And you have to be efficient shooting the ball from the floor. You know, and that's a tough task because sometimes you get good looks, but the ball just doesn't go in.
All right, Toby, break it down for us. Keys to the game for Providence and Nease.
For Providence, it's going to be tempo. Nease is going to want to slow this game down. It's important that Providence impose their will on defense, try to make sure this game is up in the 60s and 70s and not in the 40s and 30s where Nease will prefer it to be.
We joked with Coach Josh Balin of Nease and saying, well, if you guys win the tip, what? You're going to try to take your first shot Sunday morning? He said, well, you're not too far off there. Two very different styles going head-to-head. Jalen Robinson with already nearly half a dozen Division I offers, and that list growing by the day. Stepping into the center circle with Nease's Brooks Utter standing in at 6'3". We've already played 11 games in the last 3 days at FSCJ, ready for the 12th and final. And most important, it's the Fortegra Invitational Championship game. And we're underway as Providence wins the tap. Our officiating crew tonight, Maurice Wilson, Victor Odom, and Richard Kinney. Lee calling for it. He'll kick it out. Boykin all alone, buries it.
Nice shot by Boykin. You know, I talked to Coach Balin before the game. He said that he would like to go to a matchup zone, as you saw there. Scary sight to see that first three-pointer go down for Coach Balin.
Arias already meeting Utter near midcourt and staying tight on him. Larson didn't get a good look. Providence falling back. Gonzalez, he was big on the offensive glass yesterday. A very tough guard who just transferred in this season for Nease. A nice deflection out of bounds. That was Caleb Maccabee, a Creekside transfer.
You know, Sean, Providence is going to be in the passing lane. They're going to be over-aggressive on defense. Nease is going to have to take advantage of some of those opportunities on those overplays and get outside of their traditional stall and attack the basket at some point.
Gonzalez can't get an inch of space against Arias. Got lost for a moment. That frees up Larson. His shot is short. And Gonzalez doing what he does so well as a 6'1" guard. Gets the offensive rebound, but Nease hands it right back on a travel.
You know, Gonzalez is a great offensive rebounder. You know, anytime you can get your team second shots, anytime you can be productive without having to shoot the ball or dribble the ball, you know, you're a plus for your team.
Nease comes in at 7-0 on the young season. Closest match was an overtime win against Bartram Trail. Look at him get on the floor here. That's Brooks Utter on the floor with the possession arrow favoring Nease. It'll be Panther basketball. Meanwhile, for Jim Martin, legendary coach around here, three-time state champion, trying to be the three-time winner of the Fortegra Invitational with a win tonight. He's very honest about his team's effort yesterday. He said, hey, we just have to be more composed in tight moments, but I'm glad we were tested. We came out with a win, but our guys have to understand we got to flip the page. We have to be smarter in tighter situations, and when we're up 10, we can't let our opponent back in.
And adversity is good for basketball teams, especially early in the season. It's good to face some adversity.
Mason Lee going in with a reach, called for the foul. Meanwhile, for Josh Balin, in his 9th season at Nease, how about 3 consecutive winning seasons for the Panthers? They're hungry for so much more this year after 19 wins a season ago. Good drop off inside. Andy Gonzalez puts the Panthers on the board.
I like the patience by Gonzalez right there. Jump stop, pump fake, you know, got to the other side of the rim, used the rim as a defender. That's a great shot by Gonzalez.
Boykin finds Lee. Good ball movement from Providence, where the zone holds for Nease. Boykin can't hit his second tray. Robinson battling, taps it to himself. Utter right in his grill, and Robinson stepped on the end line. Good effort on each side, but ultimately it's Nease basketball.
I like the idea of Coach Balin going to this matchup zone. It takes away those one-on-one matchups in which I feel that Providence would have an advantage with Arias or Robinson or Mason Lee. Going to the matchup zone makes Providence have to play more of a team basketball versus the one-on-one efforts that they usually take advantage of.
Nease quickly brings it up the floor. You can see there, Nease wants to score when they try to break the press. But Coach Balin says, I trust our discipline and our teamwork. It's something we preach every day in practice. I know my guys are going to make the right decision most of the time. They work it in, and even with Robinson right in his face, Jake Larson goes to the basket to put the Panthers in front.
And Sean, Nease is comfortable playing offense for 30 seconds. Is Providence comfortable playing defense for 30 seconds is the question.
Maccabee short on his three. Difficult spot to rebound for Utter. Brooks takes it across the timeline. Nice deflection by Maccabee. Got his hand on it there. We'll stay with Nease as Brady Patterson comes on. It's something that Jim Martin was really boasting about ahead of this tournament was, look, we have 8, 9, 10 guys that can really play and start for us. We want to make sure, hey, especially with some tired legs, 3 games in 3 days, that we use that bench to our advantage. Not just the big 3 in Providence.
I'm surprised that Jalen Robinson, the guy that he's guarding has been able to be the pressure release for Nease when everybody else is denying. He could cause more problems for Nease if he was to deny his guy. I don't know if that's the strategy by Coach Martin, but I'm noticing that his guy is the pressure release each possession.
Tough catch for Robinson. Nice hop, step, and throw down. Unlimited athleticism, unlimited potential. Jalen Robinson with yet another dunk in this Fortegra Invitational. Looking around, that shot comes up short from Ty Gebauer, one of the senior leaders for the Panthers. Quickly the other way, it's Lee, and he knocks down the 3 from the corner. That's how fast it can happen for Providence.
Nice shot by Mason Lee there. Quick transition offense by Providence.
They want to get out and run. Nearly broke 100 points in a 96-64 win over Sandalwood earlier this year. Float in the lane won't go for Utter. Tracks down his own miss. They reset with Andy Gonzalez. With a nice cross, gets by Lee. That 3, no good. Good rebound for David Fonville. Get a couple of good buckets off the bench yesterday, and quickly Providence turns it over out of bounds. With 2:57 to go in the first quarter, Providence with back-to-back buckets take an 8-4 lead over Nease. Jalen Robinson using the pogo stick to keep the Stallions ahead.
CSI Companies. We partner with organizations nationwide to help employers like you find your dream team. You're looking to hire the best of the best, and we've got you covered, start to finish. Whether you're hiring for projects or everyday operations, we provide the talent, strategic solutions, and innovative technologies that keep your business ahead of the competition. This is your workforce, reimagined. This is CSI Companies.
At Duval Motor Company, we've been serving the Jacksonville area for over 100 years. That's over a century of putting service first with the Duval difference. Whether you're buying a new vehicle or servicing the one you have, the Duval difference means you can buy from home or in person and get our best price up front with a money-back guarantee. You can service your vehicle at the dealership or at home with our mobile service truck, and we'll care for it like it was our own. Experience the Duval difference at one of our 5 local dealerships today.
We build ideas for clients. They typically have an idea or a concept of what kind of project they're going to build. And I think as long as we're involved at the very beginning and we bring realistic budgets and realistic processes that they enjoy, that we can actually build it versus just talking about it. And we do it as a team.
There's 100% transparency. There's a common goal that we're all working towards.
At the Y, we take great pride in strengthening our community and helping all of us be our best selves. Our programs empower young people, improve health and well-being, and inspire action in our communities, today and every day. No matter where you are on your journey, we are here for you. We are here for all. Stop by or visit us at fcymca.org to discover new ways to connect with your potential, your purpose, and each other. Join us. Together, we are stronger for our community.
First quarter of the championship game between Providence and Nease. We noticed this in the last time out. The Stallions, they pride themselves on having a deep roster, but we're seeing now 4 players come off the bench for Jim Martin. They were describing this too, playing in a different venue. High school court 84 feet, here at FSCJ 94 feet. They're saying after 2 games, our guys are having some tired legs, and if we want to play at the pace we want to, we're going to have to rely on 10, 12 guys tonight to win.
And it does make a difference. And, you know, you want to have deep basketball teams, you know, for situations like this where you're playing 3 games in 3 nights. Being able to go deep into your bench is to your asset.
Josh Stallings and Abdul Manzareh, the latest Stallions to come off the bench. They get the turnover in the backcourt, and Andy Gonzalez picks up his first foul. Brady Patterson, who was big in the overtime period last night in the win over Oakleaf. Now Fonville picks it up, back to Stallings. No lane, no space against the Nease zone defense in the first quarter. Good shot. It's short, tapped around. Gonzalez flies in to clear the boards.
Great defensive possession there by Nease. They're doing a great job with their gap integrity against the zone. You see here Josh Stallings here denying Howard on the floor.
Tough spot. Cale Thompson picks up his dribble, and that's 3 in the key. Turnover Nease. We talk about how fast and how much Providence can score offensively, but they really like to hang their hat defensively like any state title contender would want.
You know, and they're trying to take Utter out the game. Bryson Utter, they have a guy denied. Josh Stallings denied him that last possession.
This fires on the 3 from the corner. This is Utter, averaging nearly 20 points per game on the season. This Nease team having to replace Logan Ryan, the News for Jacks all first team member a season ago. Unselfishly gives it up to Cale Thompson. Almost stolen by Brady Patterson if it didn't go out of bounds. And already 3 of the starters for Providence back in the game with 90 seconds left in the first stanza.
And Coach Martin is trying to keep his guys fresh. It's going to be a long night.
They look for Larson. Arias tied on him defensively. Nice backdoor find, everything but the finish for Utter. Boykin lobs inside, got it back from Maccabee. Runner in the lane, too strong. Final minute of the first quarter. Nease been tested a couple of times this year. How will they fare against the unanimous #1 team in the Jacksonville area? In Max Prep's rankings just a couple of days ago, the Stallions listed as the #3 team in the state of Florida. Gonzalez coughs it up there. Maccabee steps through the defense and can't get it to go. An in and out heartbreaker. Gonzalez on the floor, and Nease calls time. If you can't tell by the score, every possession, every in and out shot going to be so crucial. We'll step aside in the final minute of the first quarter with the Panthers looking for a score before heading to the second period.
That is why we cook our award-winning barbecue fresh every day and finish it on a live pit. The way real barbecue is supposed to be cooked. And remember, Bono's Barbecue. If you don't see a pit,
A low-scoring affair early here in the first quarter. Good effort by Nease to claim possession, call timeout. What do you draw up here with plenty of time to go in the quarter, but also don't want to give Providence a chance to go end-to-end with a late score?
You want to make sure you take care of the basketball. You can get something going back to the basket, the back cut action that they ran previous possession. You know, Utter just left it short. I would go back to something like that or something to get Larson to look at a three. But right now, Coach Martin has done a great job of denying Larson and Bryson Utter in the half court.
Larson draws Robinson. He wants the basketball. The double comes, someone's open, it's Gonzalez for two. Great basketball IQ, and what a pass from Jake Larson. Final seconds, Arias heaves it and can't draw iron at the buzzer. This matchup tightly contested early on. It's Providence 8, Nease 6 as we head to the second quarter. The Fortegra Invitational is brought to you by Fortegra. Let's reach new heights together. CSI Companies, your workforce solutions reinvented. Bono's Pit Barbecue. Land South Construction. And by Duval Motor Company, proudly serving Northeast Florida since 1916. Second quarter of the 5th annual Fortegra Invitational comes next.
Today is here for my next chapter.
For my world debut.
My independence.
My inspiration.
My American dream.
For my second chance.
Whether it is your first year in college or you are looking to start a new career, FSCJ is here for you.
A world of ideas comes to life through Gemstone Media. We blend picture and sound, persuasion and emotion, purpose and passion to brand your company and increase sales. We broadcast sports and train military and industrial personnel. Let us demonstrate the power of effective communication. On the air, online, on demand, on time, on budget, on point. Let Gemstone Media get your ideas turned on.
What makes us unique is just service. We control as many variables as we can. We do all of our own decorating, we do trophies, we do banners, and now we create our own uniforms in this building with this new sublimation process that we have. Just the last 21 years just have been incredible at how the business has evolved.
My name is Roland Bell. I've been with Bono since 1990, and I'm a pit boss. I started out as a dishwasher, and then I went from dishwasher to a prep. And after that, I wanted to learn how to cut. And here I am now, been cutting since 1990.
There's something special about cooking out in the backyard. Beautiful out here today. There's nothing like cooking home with your family and sharing food with the people that I love. Barbecue is all about bringing people together.
Because everybody loves barbecue.
FSCJ is here for my first step.
My passion and creativity.
My next chapter. My start in education. For my dreams.
Whether it is your first year in college or you are looking to start a new career, FSCJ is here for you.
The Nease fans out in full force, trying to cheer on their boys to a Fortegra Invitational Championship win. Meanwhile, for Providence, this is a team, like we said, with state title aspirations. Well, they suffered a heartbreaker in the regional final last year against Florida High after back-to-back one-point wins against Episcopal and Bishop Snyder in the first 2 rounds of the state playoffs. They said in that Florida High game, they were just out-toughed. Trey Donaldson, who's now enrolled at Auburn playing football, they said he just took over the game and we just couldn't match it. We didn't know what to do in those 16 minutes, but it was a great lesson learned. And we head into this tournament seeing, okay, Are we worth the hype? Where are we right now a month into the season? They're getting really tested by not just Oak Leaf last night, but Nease causing problems right now for Providence. How do they stabilize things? How do they go on the run like we know they can in the second period?
You know, first thing, Sean, when you're the top dog, you're going to get everybody's best game. So every night that they play, they are getting the best game from their opponent. But you just have to try to stay steady. You know, focus comes in practice. You can't wait to games to stay focused. And, you know, they have a veteran coach in Coach Martin. He definitely knows how to navigate these situations.
Jalen Robinson right off the catch. That'll be Andy Gonzalez's second foul. He'll stay on the floor. Just shows you the muscle and the hustle Jalen Robinson has as a 6'6" junior.
You know, I've come up with a new nickname to give kids that have the athleticism of Jalen Robinson. We call him the air fryer.
Heat up quickly?
And high in the air.
Robinson gets 3 points for Providence there. Patrolling the middle. An active Providence defense trying to speed up an otherwise deliberate Nease offense. They throw it away to Fonville there. Maccabee tosses back to Lee. Good fake to free him up. Can't hit. On the putback, no. On the third try, it's Robinson again. Taking his game to another level this season after averaging close to 12 and 5 last year as a sophomore.
And that's one of the concerns that I thought that Nease would have with this Providence team, keeping Jalen Robinson off the offensive glass. He's doing a great job so far in this quarter with getting second opportunities.
Off a Panther miss. Arias calling for it. He gets it. He pulls up. It's too strong. Fonville again. The Providence Stallions controlling the glass. And one too many second chance efforts forces a Josh Balin timeout. 7 straight for the Stallions to start the second quarter. We'll take a timeout on the floor with the Stallions in front, 15-6.
You can always expect skilled knowledge in caring customer service from Baker Sporting Goods. Like you, we are excited about all sports and are proud to outfit your home team. Our experienced staff is committed to providing the best possible customer service. Call the Baker Sports team.
Nease falls behind 15-6 early in the second quarter. We know how animated Josh Balin can be in game. And he complimented his team before the tournament, saying we're very mature and composed, disciplined, another word to describe his team earlier today. How do they get back to what makes them go versus watching Providence get O-board after O-board, second chance bucket after second chance bucket?
You know, I think offensively they're fine. Defensively, it's difficult when you play a zone defense. You have no box out accountability. You don't have a man that you're assigned to box out. So it's always tough when you play a zone defense, especially with teams that offensive rebound the way Providence does. You know, you have to be committed to communicating and making sure that everybody puts a body on the player that's closest to them.
Good fake. Utter brings it back out. Younger brother Bryson. Brooks can't connect. Rebound Fonville. That bench providing a nice boost for Jim Martin. Lee finds the cutting. Robinson got the defense in the air. Full skill set on display for Jalen Robinson in this first half.
And what Coach Martin has figured out, he's figured out a way to turn Nease's zone into a man-to-man by isolating Jalen Robinson off a duck in with the middle guy of the zone.
Now it's Lee's turn to put it on the deck. Reset with Arias. Quickly to Maccabee, and he travels. It's so cool when we think about this Providence program. And even for Nease, a team that, look, every team in the area says, what can we do and maintain that high level, that consistency year in and year out? For Providence, they say it starts with the work, but also the sacrifice. So yeah, we have 10 guys who believe they can be the guy. They can start, they can score, they can do all those little things. And said, yeah, that's kind of why we have to play so many guys at some points, but it also just helps take that pressure off our shoulders. Jim said, I think that's why we're a state title contender, because, yeah, we've had guys like Aaron Freeman, James Repass, Grayson Allen in the past. As Nease throws it away here, it's Arias all alone for two. We said, when we take that off of our two guys committed to D1 programs right now, boy, doesn't that just open everything up for the rest of the team?
And it does. You know, you get more exposure, you know, all eyes on you. And when college coaches come watch you play, they just can't see one guy. They have to watch the whole game.
Tie up forced by the stingy Stallion defense. Panthers keep the basketball, but in a tough spot here. Yet to score in this second quarter. Just shows, even with a strong start, you can control the pace those first 6-8 minutes. Things can change very quickly.
Well, every quarter is different. You know, actually every possession is different, but every quarter is different.
Gonzalez with 2 of the 3 baskets for Nease comes up empty. All alone, Patterson. It's good. The Stallions continue to build on their lead. Another 3 goes down. Utter, he's been quiet and gets a friendly roll around the rim. Finally get Nease on the board nearly midway through the second.
You know, and Providence has figured out, you know, they're going to score in transition, and in the half court, they're going to continue to go high-low with Mason Lee and Jalen Robinson as he's roaming the short corner, roaming around that dunker spot on the baseline.
Patterson surveys. Lee using all of that 6'6" for him to get his hands in the air, standing at the free throw line. Arias away from the screen, kicks it back. Lee in rhythm, short. Long rebound, Patterson tracks it down. Utter on the floor, quickly recovers. And so does Providence, nursing a 14-point lead. Trying to win the Fortegra Invitational for the 3rd time in 5 years, and Robinson caught it in too deep. Another easy 2. He has been the catalyst for Providence this quarter.
They have really found something with that high-low action between Mason Lee and Jalen Robinson in the second quarter.
Utter took an extra dribble, didn't matter. Stayed composed with Robinson attempting to block the shot. But Nease can't really afford to trade baskets even at this stage in the game.
No, they can't, but they have no answer for Jalen Robinson right now.
How about Chris Arias? Another one of the big 3. Just committed to Jacksonville last month. Gebauer, one of the senior leaders, knocks it down from the mid-range. Along with Larson, Josh Balin says those are our coaches on the floor. That's what we want our program to be. How hard those guys work, how much better they make us and elevate those around them. Arias got by Gonzalez, runner off the mark. Good rebound for Utter. Gebauer had a step. Now looking to go backdoor Larson. Swing it Gonzalez. Robinson was in the air. Bounce won't go. Lee working inside. Now up top. How about a three? It's short. Low pass from Patterson, looking for Robinson. Off his feet, out of bounds. But a strong second quarter for the Stallions. Keep them ahead 27-12. We'll see if Nease has a run in them when we come back for the final 2 minutes of the first half.
Our roof that was built 21 years ago, we'd had a few leaking issues and just wanted to be prepared before hurricane season. We have a company where we do electrical contracting. Knowing what it takes to go to a construction project, I was very impressed with the orchestration of this entire project with Covenant. They, I would say, under-promised and over-delivered, so I would highly recommend them.
We're CSI companies. We partner with organizations nationwide to help employers like you find your dream team. You're looking to hire the best of the best, and we've got you covered, start to finish. Whether you're hiring for projects or everyday operations, we provide the talent, strategic solutions, and innovative technologies that keep your business ahead of the competition. This is your workforce, reimagined. This is CSI Companies.
Duval is a big place, so you need to get a lot of mileage out of what you drive. At Duval Motor Company, we put service first. With complimentary service loaner vehicles and multiple locations to serve you, our service teams take care of you by providing repair services for every make and model. Ford, Honda, Acura, Subaru, Chevrolet, and everything in between. We've got Duval covered when it comes to service. Any make, any model, any location. DuvalMotorCompany.com.
We build ideas for clients. They typically have an idea or a concept of what kind of project they're going to build. And I think as long as we're involved at the very beginning and we bring realistic budgets and realistic processes that they enjoy, that we can actually build it versus just talking about it. And we do it as a team.
There's 100% transparency. There's a common goal that we're all working towards.
A big Providence run led by Jalen Robinson has the Stallions with a nice cushion before the break. Still a chance for the Panthers. Toby, they've gotten some looks, especially around the rim. High percentage shots they just haven't dropped.
And it's out of rhythm for them because Providence is forcing them to play faster than they usually play. So while they may look like wide open looks to us, they're not traditional looks that those guys would usually take. Gonzalez and Larson are the only two players that really have the liberty to put their head down and make their own play. So it's foreign territory for the other Nease players right now to shoot these type of shots right here that we see.
Utter with a fastball. It's Ty Gabauer. The senior stays composed. Hits another jumper. Now the question is, how can the Stallions rebound? Second chance points have been at a premium for Providence. Don't need a second look there. Brady Patterson with another three-pointer. Utter kicks it out. Larson from deep. Can't answer. Brooks Utter got it back. And he'll hit it from the corner. Three's up from Brooks Utter. A senior with a big effort to keep Nease in the hunt in the final minute of the first half. Arias, it's all going down for Providence. 3 after 3.
From a defensive standpoint, you begin to scratch your head when your opponent hits a three from the wing and then from the top and then at the basket.
Offensive foul in the open floor. Patterson went right into Jake Larson. Known to have a killer left arm, not because of what he does on the court. He'll be playing college baseball next year. But Coach Balin points to that from his senior leader, right? As a lot of coaches would say, it's not just putting up 20 points or the big numbers on the stat sheet. It's Who's diving out of bounds for loose balls? Who's taking the charges there? Just so elite in how he elevates everyone around him. Really the driving force for us, along with Tyga Bauer.
You know, Sean, when I was coaching, the only thing that really could get some emotion out of me is when a kid took a charge, because I know what it takes psychologically. I know what you go through to have to go through that process, and it's just the most unselfish play to me.
Larson was unselfish there, not looking for a shot. Utter falls to the full floor with Patterson. Nease will trigger in from underneath. This is Jalen Stewart. To Bryson Utter. Dumps it inside to the other Utter. Twisting and turning, Fonville holds his ground and sends it back. Time for one more shot. Patterson off the dribble with 5. Fonville got the defense in the air. You bet! Closing out the first half in style. Providence firing on all cylinders. And it will take a 19-point advantage into the locker room. We'll check in with Jim Martin in just a moment, but you can't draw it up any better than that for the Stallions. Now time for our Baker's Sporting Goods sideline interview. Let's go to Kaylee Whitehead, who's with Coach Martin.
Thanks, Sean. I'm joined here by Coach Martin. Got a lead of 36-17 at the half. Coach, what did you think of your overall team's performance?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought we were doing it on both ends, offensively and defensively. We got to get away from a few of the costly turnovers. It's going to be a great second half. Nease is probably one of the best coach teams in the city, and we expect them to really, up the pressure a little bit in the second half.
Awesome. So what's your main message to your team as far as adjustments go?
Keep playing hard. Keep playing hard. Do not let up. This is not a team you let up on.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to you. Back to you, Sean.
All right, thank you, Kaylee. Thank you, Coach. 16 minutes in the book in our 5th annual Fortegra Invitational Championship game. Got off to a bit of a slow start after an 8-6 first quarter. Then both teams started to heat up. And boy, Providence, with a barrage from behind the arc, takes a 36-17 lead into the break. Stick around, more to come from our halftime report on the other side. Providence with a big second quarter, has a healthy lead at the break. We're now joined by one of the great executives from one of our great sponsors, Mark Walters of Fortegra, the title sponsor for the 5th straight year. They've been a big part of this event since its inception. Mark, can you tell us Why Fortegra? Why do they have this vision of wanting to sponsor and get out in the community here?
You know, it's great. As an insurance carrier, right? You're typically behind the scenes. You're not out there from a company standpoint. Our agents are our representatives. One of the things we do though is we actually have our agents out in the field protecting people's lives, livelihoods, and the things they own. And while they're doing that, we're here in Jacksonville because we're home base here in Jacksonville, and our headquarters is here. So we said, well, why not participate in a community, the community we live in, the community our associates are part of, and our associates is really what we're all about, right? So if your company, which is Fortegra, I call it Fortegra Family because the Fortegra family is all about our associates, our clients as well, and then of course the community. So why not do something that participates in the community, participates in sports? We're competitors, right? And that's like Fortegra. We're known as competitors, but we're also known as giving back into the community. While we're not frontline, fancy, we don't try to put our name out there. We're happy to be part of this environment, absolutely.
I know you're a Michigan man yourself. You're wearing your Detroit Lions blue today. But what do you like most about, especially the high school scene and being involved in this event and just seeing the best of the best in this city go toe-to-toe?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I got 2 daughters, Haley and Sky played volleyball at Providence, and I was a big fan, a girl dad. And what's great about in Jacksonville, you get that competitive nature. And it's one of the things to be part of it here, witnessing everything like that. But you're going to get that here in Jacksonville. It's great to see the community come out and watch not only a championship game, but the game last night was awesome. All these parents and friends and family coming to watch all of the Fortegra Invitational presented by CSI. I think it's just awesome. The community comes out to represent.
And then very quickly, how can people find you out in the community?
Yeah, so Fortegra.com, obviously. Here we are in Jacksonville. Highly recommend taking a look at us. Again, we're behind the scenes more, but we're becoming more pronounced. We're now international. We got about 250, 300 people here in Jacksonville, over 1,000 people nationwide and internationally. We got an office in London, Prague, and some other locations. Take a look at us, absolutely. But we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to be part of the community, and just happy to be here. Happy to work with Airstream Ventures, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing here from a network standpoint.
We appreciate the title sponsorship. We appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks,
Mark, thank
buddy.
you so much
Appreciate
for joining
you.
us.
Thank you.
Still more to come. Highlights and stats from the first half before we get you ready for the third quarter. It's the championship game of the Fortegra Invitational.
At the Y, we take great pride in strengthening our community and helping all of us be our best selves. Our programs empower young people, improve health and well-being, and inspire action in our communities, today and every day. No matter where you are on your journey, we are here for you. We are here for all. Stop by or visit us at fcymca.org to discover new ways to connect with your potential, your purpose, and each other. Join us. Together, we are stronger for our community.
Memorable moments come in different shapes and sizes. Airstream Ventures partners with communities and events to create unique moments that connect partners on a deeper level. Services provided are sales and sponsorship, event marketing, client hospitality, and sports tourism. Our focus, changing lives, increasing business, and leaving a legacy. Airstream Ventures, business, sports, tourism. To find out more, visit airstreamventures.com.
You take some pretty big steps in life. And sometimes those steps can be expensive. Which is why your credit union is always here to help you save. With zero checking fees and thousands of surcharge-free ATMs, the savings that happen every day really add up. Find out what over 100 million credit union members already know and visit your credit union today.
What makes us unique is just service. We control as many variables as we can. We do all of our own decorating, we do trophies, we do banners, and now we create our own uniforms in this building with this new sublimation process that we have. Just the last 21 years just have been incredible at how the business has evolved.
Welcome back to the Florida State College at Jacksonville, our wonderful venue for the 5th annual Fortegra Invitational presented by the CSI companies. Back courtside with you, Sean Salisbury, Coach Toby Frazier. A lot to dissect in that first quarter, second quarter, because it really was a contrast of two styles. Nease got to play its way in the first quarter, and then Providence really took it to them on the offensive glass and three-point line in the second.
You know, Providence did a good job of figuring out that 2-3 zone of Nease. They went Mason Lee at the high post to get the duck in to Jalen Robinson. They were very successful with that. They were able to slow Nease down with a little run and jump, made them a little bit more apprehensive about attacking the basket, and I think that was the change in the game.
Taking a look at our first half highlights, it was a little bit slow coming out of the gates. Providence with his first bucket by B.J. Boykin. They didn't score for another 3-4 minutes in that first quarter, and Andy Gonzalez helped Nease take an early lead.
You know, Gonzalez was huge. They sputtered there, and he ended up hitting a couple good big buckets, timely buckets, but Jalen Robinson was just too big at the basket. Here you see him here playing well off 2 feet. He's so explosive, and they had it going from 3, you know, all levels of the court.
And it was a total team effort. Robinson, the main contributor, but we saw Lee hit a couple of shots, and then some of the bench players. Those mistakes, Chris Arias won't get an easier 2 tonight. And the Stallions just poured it on. Brady Patterson with a couple of triples. David Fonville chipped into. So much depth on Providence. You can prepare for 1. I don't know if you can prepare for 10.
Now, you can't prepare for 10. You know, you have to take the less of the evils, and that's pretty much going to be on the perimeter. But the way Providence shoot the ball, that's not going to be a good idea either for this Nease team. They're going to have to figure out a way to slow Providence down.
It'll be a long road back as they try to ramp up the pressure in the second half. Ending right here, Fonville with a great fake and finish. That was the last basket of the first half, and has Providence in full control, trying to win their 3rd Fortegra title in 5 years.
You know, I look for Coach Martin to throw a knockout punch in this third quarter. I look for them to extend their pressure, and I don't see him subbing that much this third quarter. I could tell by the look in his eye at the half-court interview. You know, he said that they're going to keep playing hard, and I believe it. Coach Josh Balin is going to have to figure out a way to weather the storm. They have to continue to secure the ball and give themselves a chance to get shot attempts versus turnovers, which will allow Providence to play in the open court where they're so good.
Providence said they woke up a little angry. They knew they were going to be tested in this tournament, but said, hey, we got to control what we can control. They've limited the turnovers. They've gotten the high percentage looks they've wanted. What do you know? Big time lead heading into the third quarter. We'll step aside one final time here at the break. Come back with the third quarter between Providence and Nease in a championship game.
My name is Roland Bell. I've been with Bono since 1990, and I'm a pit boss. I started out as a dishwasher, and then I went from dishwasher to a prep. And after that, I wanted to learn how to cut. And here I am now, been cutting since 1990.
There's something special about cooking out in the backyard. Beautiful out here today. There's nothing like cooking home with your family and sharing food with the people that I love. Barbecue is all about bringing people together.
Because everybody loves barbecue.
Our roof that was built 21 years ago. We'd had a few leaking issues and just wanted to be prepared before hurricane season. We have a company where we do electrical contracting. Knowing what it takes to go to a construction project, I was very impressed with the orchestration of this entire project with Covenant. They, I would say, under-promised and over-delivered, so I would highly recommend them.
At Duval Motor Company, we've been serving the Jacksonville area for over 100 years. That's over a century of putting service first with the Duval difference. Whether you're buying a new vehicle or servicing the one you have, the Duval difference means you can buy from home or in person and get our best price up front with a money-back guarantee. You can service your vehicle at the dealership or at home with our mobile service truck, and we'll care for it like it was our own. Experience the Duval difference at one of our 5 local dealerships today.
Both teams out of the locker room, warming up. Providence already on its bench. Nease trying to work its way back from a 19-point deficit. Third quarter in just a minute on the other side. Ready to go in the second half of the 5th annual Fortegra Invitational Championship game. Good crowd on hand to see two of the best teams in Jacksonville go head-to-head. Great early season test for each of these ball clubs. That's what both coaches and the other 6 teams in this field wanted, in saying, look, a lot of these teams, we think we're good. We're going to find out how good by the end of this weekend.
And that's what these tournaments are for, Sean, especially early on in the season. You know, you get battle tested, you get put in some situations, whether they be good or adverse situations, but from a coaching standpoint, you learn a lot about your team, and for the players, you learn a lot about your coach and your teammates.
Jim Martin said this is one of the deepest, most talented rosters that I can remember. Funny to say when he's had stars like Patrick Young and Grayson Allen lead him to state titles. He's looking for number 4 this year, but the Stallions working a little too quick. Try to get it into Robinson in a tight spot. It goes off his hand out of bounds. Meanwhile for Nease, this is the team that lost 7 seniors, including Logan Ryan, first team all news for Jacks last year. Coach Balin said, I didn't know what this team was going to look like. They've checked every box to start the season. We're proud of their effort, but now it's going to come down to our discipline and consistency. Not just get back to the state playoffs, but we want to win. Out a heartbreaker in the first round last year against Crestview, losing in overtime. They found ways to grind out wins early this season. Utter looking to kick it out. It was wide of Brooks Utter.
And that's one of those possessions, Sean, that you can't have if you're Coach Balin. You got to get a shot attempt. You're already facing a deficit. You know, they're patient on offense. You can't turn the ball over there.
I think Providence is more than happy to be patient on this end themselves. After a slow start for them, DJ Boykin hit the first shot of the night. Now it's to Caleb Maccabee, puts it on the deck. Nice moves and finish. Scored 13 a game at Creekside last year. Opts to come into an already, like we've mentioned several times, deep Providence roster, but finds his way to make an impact.
Nice shot by McAfee there. I like to see kids get in the lane, play off 2 feet. It's a good jump stop by him.
And now with the interception. A dangerous foul, too. They're going to call it a common foul for now. What say you, Coach Frazier?
Well, these calls, you know, the ball moves. So sometimes it may look malicious as if the defender hit the offensive player in the head, but if the offensive player moves the ball, then the defensive player's hand is going to go towards the ball goal. So I think nothing malicious there, a common foul. I agree with the common foul call.
McAfee sinks the first of 2. Part of why we say that, we saw an intentional foul called earlier today in our third place game on what seemed like a little bit less contact than that, and obviously it comes back to protecting players in some of those more vulnerable scenarios.
Yeah, you err on the side of caution in those situations. You don't want anybody to get hurt. You don't want a fight or any type of altercation to break out. So the referees try to do the best they can to mitigate any type of situation that can turn bad between the players.
I should know better than to ask a guard from the mid-90s if that's an intentional foul. Look at me, a personal foul there. Nease struggling to control the ball. Now look what I found. Nice cut by Ty Gabauer. Right place, right time, as that nearly was another Panther turnover. McAfee spotting up. Draws nothing but air. Boykin keeps it in play. It's been that second and third effort to be the difference for Providence.
And they're doing a great job of playing inside out against this zone.
There he is from way downtown, playing the college line even in his junior season. Empty trip there for the Stallions, still ahead by 21. Gonzalez backs it out with Lee on him. They whip it in. 3 on the way, it's pure. Down the hatch for Nease. And Matthew Mitchell, the 6'4" senior, starting to earn more time early in the season because Josh Balin said he has forced us to play him. He has been a great bright spot. And Robinson quickly off the catch. Will go to the line to shoot one after yet another and one. They are really trying to find him around the rim.
You know, Sean, you know, and it's strategic. It's not by accident. Mason Lee is usually the passer. He's a taller passer, and you have a taller passer throwing to a big target at the basket. That's hard to defend. Jalen Robinson is doing a great job of ducking in at the basket against the zone.
And now Boykin at 6'6" himself reaches for another board. But they lose the leather out of bounds. Going back to Nease, trailing by 20. Josh Balin, so impressive to see what he's built. Now as a roster with 8 seniors, a good junior class. More than 100 wins with the Panthers, his alma mater, since taking over almost a decade ago. 06 grad with Tim Tebow. Not gonna like how his team gives it up there. And now Arias and the Stallions throw it wide. That'll get a heck of a glare from Jim Martin.
Young players have a tendency, when their teammate is open, they try to get the ball there quick. It doesn't necessarily have to be quick. It doesn't have to be a no-look. You can turn face up, pivot, and make a quality pass. If your teammate can't shoot the ball, then it's up to them to read the closeout. You don't have to throw an errant pass. You know, there's an old saying, rush, but don't hurry.
So exactly what Coach Martin said, too, in turning it over about 20 times last night and saying, yeah, credit to Oakleaf, they made us uncomfortable, but we just got to slow down a beat. Larson, this is right in front of the rim. Gonzalez crashes to the floor with a couple of black shirts. He has been tough yet again tonight.
It's a great pass. You know, Larson missed the bunny there. That's a tough play. Good offense. Great job by Gonzalez for being first to the floor.
Now Larson trying to make amends for the miss there. I guess I'll clean up the wet spot. Larson, fantastic last night in the semifinal win. A team-high 17 points, made 5 threes. Just some of those bunnies
Watch
popping
him
out.
stepping back in here off this inbound. They like to run this flex action.
Gonzalez looking for some movement. Lee switches on to him. They kick it out for an open three. Can't get the friendly roll from Cale Thompson. Patterson, he had a couple of threes in the first half. To an elbow J, it's Lee in and out. Gonzalez a step ahead of Lee. And Robinson crashes right into him. He'll shoot 2 when we return to FSCJ. The Providence Stallions hanging on to that big halftime lead. It's a 20-point margin here with 3:25 to go in the third quarter. About 11 minutes away from their third Fortegra Invitational Championship. Providence in front 42-22 in the third quarter of the Fortegra Invitational. 3 full days of basketball coming to a close here in this second half. Everything been tough for Nease tonight. Jalen Robinson, we know he can jump out of the gym. Tough take there as Gonzalez will shoot 2 out of the break.
Good job by Gonzalez. You always try to tell young kids in traffic, you want to play off 2 feet in traffic. It gives you an opportunity to jump stop, pump fake. You know, you're stronger that way, and you don't necessarily have to shoot the ball. You can always come away from a jump stop, pivot out, make a pass, or absorb the contact like Gonzalez did and get your opportunity to shoot 2 free throws.
Been a great spark for a Nease team that we mentioned a little bit earlier. 8 seniors on this team. Not often you have a kid who just transferred in. Lived in your district and had a great relationship with another senior, Jalen Stewart. They said, Coach Balin told us, Andy kind of showed up and we didn't know what to expect or what we could really offer. But you know what? He's earned it. Every minute he's been out there, he's earned it, and we can watch him play, you and I, these last 2 days and see how he's been such a key contributor.
And he does a great job at the little things. He boxes out. He's good offensive rebounding. He's good in transition. He's usually the first to the floor. He takes charges, and, he's a glue guy, and that's a great addition to have to your program. And with him being a senior, that comes with some maturity as well, so he helps in the locker room.
Gonzalez now brings it up for Nease. Larson just completely shut off from the offense. Josh Stallings going full deny. Gonzalez inside, draws the double. They're gonna say he kept his dribble. Providence fans calling for something. They got away with one there.
Well, Larson's not going to get a touch. Somebody else is going to have to make something happen for Nease because Josh Stallings is not allowing Jake Larson to touch the ball this possession at all.
Size advantage for Utter. Instead, it's Thompson who rattles home a three. Providence is being honest. They're saying, all right, 5 and 11 aren't going to beat us. It's going to take another cast of characters.
It's a big shot by Cale Thompson, sorry.
Mitchell now defending for Nease. Patterson swings it to Fonville. Attacking the gap, a good finish off one dribble. Abdul Manzareh scored double figures in Thursday's win over Mandarin. Earned the start yesterday. Yeah, just one of those key pieces that Providence can plug in at any time. Gonzalez with a fake. Now takes it inside and with a little bump. Still finishes with that contact.
And they're going to need that. They're going to need somebody else to step up because, you know, Providence has made the decision that they're not going to let Larson get a touch.
Fonville answers right back with a three.
Big shot by Fartwell. He had the three to end the half. He still has it going.
Really slamming the door shut on any potential Nease run in the final minute of the third quarter. Stallions led by 19 at the break. And after another nice jumper from Cale Thompson, still a large margin, but far from over. Providence had a double-digit second half lead over Oakleaf yesterday before the Knights stormed back to force overtime.
You know, Sean, when one of your players is being denied the way Providence is denying Jake Larson, you use that player as a screener. Let him play in a high post area. Allow him to create space, you know, versus just playing high out on the floor, avoiding the possession. Use him as a screener.
Fonville has caught fire. And now hustles back. Gonzalez can't hit it at the buzzer. Credit the junior after his three to get back and give Providence a 50-30 lead as we head to the fourth quarter in the Fortegra Invitational Championship game. The Fortegra Invitational is brought to you by Fortegra. Let's reach new heights together. CSI Companies, your workforce solutions reinvented. Bono's Pit Barbecue. Land South Construction. And by Duval Motor Company, proudly serving Northeast Florida since 1916. Ready to wrap up this great event on the other side. We head to the fourth quarter between Providence and Nease.
FSCJ is here
for my start and finish,
My next chapter. My start in education.
for my future.
for my second chance.
Whether it is your first year in college or you are looking to start a new career, FSCJ is here for you.
We build ideas for clients. They typically have an idea or a concept of what kind of project they're going to build. And I think as long as we're involved at the very beginning and we bring realistic budgets and realistic processes that they enjoy, that we can actually build it versus just talking about it. And, you know, we do it as a team.
There's 100% transparency. There's a common goal that we're all working towards.
At the Y, we take great pride in strengthening our community and helping all of us be our best selves. Our programs empower young people, improve health and well-being, and inspire action in our communities, today and every day. No matter where you are in your journey, we are here for you. We are here for all. Stop by or visit us at fcymca.org to discover new ways to connect with your potential, your purpose, and each other. Join us. Together, we are stronger for our community. A world of ideas comes to life through Gemstone Media. We blend picture and sound, persuasion and emotion, purpose and passion to brand your company and increase sales. We broadcast sports and train military and industrial personnel. Let us demonstrate the power of effective communication. On the air, online, on demand, on time, on budget, on point. Let Gemstone Media get your ideas turned on.
FSCJ is here for my future.
My inspiration.
My next chapter.
My American dream.
My passion and creativity.
For my first step.
Whether it is your first year in college or you are looking to start a new career, FSCJ is here for you.
After a 2-point margin at the end of the first quarter, Providence has blown it open. And it hasn't been Mason Lee. It hasn't been Chris Arias, the two players on their roster that are committed to D1 teams. Just a testament to how it's an all-around effort, not just one or two players that power Providence to wins.
And David Fonville has been great down the stretch. He hit a 3 at the end of the half, and he's continued with that hot streak here, leading them into this fourth quarter.
Nice strip by Larson. And he had his pocket picked by Arias. Robinson trying to stay composed with Gonzalez right in his grill. And now Providence resets. Opening minute of the fourth quarter. Stallions trying to improve to 7-0. They'll get a big help there from B.J. Boykin. Gosh, it seems like half a dozen different Stallions have hit a 3 tonight.
You know, we didn't see much of Boykin last night against Oakleaf. You know, he can really stroke it. Nice size on him, confident shooter. You know, this is a deep Stallion team.
And they just flat out dominated teams up until last night, even beat IMG Blue in their first official game of the season. Andy Gonzalez continues to be a force himself for the Panthers. Only by 21 in this championship game. Nease knew it was going to be a tough test. They're learning a lot. There's Robinson, just a little too easy. That's like going through warm-ups for him.
Yeah, you know, he's a big kid. That's a tough matchup for Nease. He's so explosive. He's quick off the floor. Has a good touch around the basket. That's tough to play against.
Larson takes a step back before giving up to Gonzalez. Brooke Sutter gets it back from Thompson.
Daring Gonzalez to shoot the 3 there. Mason Lee is daring him to shoot. He didn't shoot it.
Now Larson can't move more than 2 dribbles before he's forced to give it up again. On the cut, won't have to dribble there. This sums up Jake Larson's night. The ones that almost always go down simply aren't falling.
You know, he's missed a few bunnies tonight, uncharacteristically of him. You know, he's usually very efficient around the perimeter and at the basket. He's just struggling tonight.
We know the senior will have better nights. It's a lot of averages when you go 5 of 10 from 3 yesterday, and can't get anything to drop there. And Jim Martin talking about his two of his best players. Want to establish a pecking order, but when talking about Mason Lee and Jalen Robinson, who catches the inbound, they said, you know, those guys are getting in the gym at 6 a.m. every single day and just getting shots up before school, before practice. It doesn't matter. They're just doing that extra bit that makes you that much better, that much more composed when you're out on the floor. He said, and guys really respond to that because then as an individual, you look around and go, oh, what am I doing to get better? I got to fall in line with these guys. If they're the best on our team, okay, if I put in that extra work, I'll see it pay off too. They throw it away there. Mitchell alone on the open floor lays it in with Maccabee closing fast.
Good finish by Mitchell. You know, to your point, Sean, that you were making earlier, you know, kids have to understand you should earn the right to be able to shoot the ball in the game. You know, it's not a democracy when it comes to shooting the basketball. You have to earn trust with your coach. The coach has to visually see you in the gym getting shots up, spending extra time. The amount of shots that you get up during practice, a 2-hour, 2.5 practice, that's not enough reps. You have to come early, you have to stay late. And if you want the responsibility or the luxury to be able to shoot the ball, you have to put the extra time in.
Somebody's always working in the gym, huh? Nice moves by Patterson. Couldn't finish there. Lee secures the rebound and is promptly fouled. 4:09 to go in this championship game. Providence well on its way to lifting another trophy. One of the more decorated programs in the area. Trying to get back to a Final Four for the first time in some time. Meanwhile, Coach Balin said, hey, every game, especially against Providence, it's going to be a lesson for us. We know we're so close. We've been making great progress with our program over the years. So much pride from Coach Balin after playing for Coach Beach in his days. Mitchell not shy. Comes up with an air ball. That'll send us to a break just past the midway point of this fourth quarter. We'll step aside with Providence 3:48 away from another Fortegra championship. And now time for our difference maker of the night, brought to you by Covenant Roofing. With Covenant Roofing, the difference is the promise. Jalen Robinson, wrecker of rims. That could be a new nickname for him too, huh? He just provided that spark in the second quarter, and the Stallions didn't look back after that big run.
You know, he does a great job of getting position on the low block. He has a wide frame, very athletic kid. He's quick off the floor. He's great touch around the rim. Good footwork, as you see there with the up and under. You know, he's just a load to deal with.
It's another one of his great finishes. You know, we talk about great Providence front court players. We hope Robinson, over the next year and a half, can add his name to the list. You know, we saw Aaron Freeman become the MVP of the first annual Fortegra Invitational, but for Jim Martin, a much more serious story. One of his great players, Patrick Young, involved in a very tough accident a while ago, but has been featured in the news lately. He's back in town. He's hosting a golf event early next week. We talk about attitude and dealing with things that just don't go your way, like trying to learn to walk again. I mean, that's tough. Yeah, I know Patrick Young's so big in this community, but it's really that $1 million smile and his attitude and what makes him so special. And he's been able to talk to this Providence team a couple of times throughout the year, really check in with them and still be a big part of that program and talking about, hey, look, when you're 18, you're going to face all kinds of adversity. How do you respond to it? What's your attitude? It's just such a special lesson for all of us, Toby.
You know, and Patrick, he's a friend of mine. You know, he's a fellow Paxton Eagle. He graduated from Providence, but he started his high school career at Paxton. And over the years, we built a good relationship. And my heart went out to him, you know, for what happened to him, especially it happening, you know, weeks before his wedding. But when you get a chance to see Pat speak on his situation, you know, it really makes you feel a certain way about yourself, because we have a tendency to complain about frivolous things. And then when you have a guy like Pat who, you know, becomes paralyzed from a car accident, and then you see him speak about how, you know, it's not about what happens to you, it's how you handle what happened to you. And, you know, this doesn't have to be the end of your story. It's so inspiring, you know, and he's so inspiring to kids. I saw him talk to the Florida Gator team. He's been speaking to high school kids. He's really using, you know, what happened to him to be a blessing to others. And that just speaks to the man that he is, and it's a tremendous story.
Yeah, not just a Providence and Paxton great, a Jacksonville great. Patrick Young, best wishes to him as he continues his journey. David Fonville going coast to coast. You never know what to expect and who's going to be one of the unsung heroes for Providence. Fonville off the bench, providing a big boost. Nease steps into a three. That's Ty Gebauer. Trims it to a 20-point lead for Providence. Used a big second quarter to really stave off any sort of run from Nease in the second half. Now putting his head down. That's Mason Williams, the sophomore. Trying to grab his own miss. It goes out of bounds. Now, meanwhile, to Providence, we talk about the hype they're getting this year, well-deserved. For Nease, you know, they're trying to get a fourth straight winning season as they'll start to empty the bench. So many seniors. For Coach Balin, he's been a part of this for a while now. He's saying, you know, I look at guys like Ty Gebauer who hit that last shot, and what we do in our community, all the camps we have, getting our high school kids involved. It makes me emotional talking about this group because we know how talented they are, but how much they care about our community, how much they want to win to make the Nease faithful proud. I know I have a good group, and we don't want to squander this special season.
You know, it's always bigger than basketball, Sean. You know, people come to the games and they see the kids playing and the coaches coach, but there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. Charity work, you know, community service, team outings, going bowling, eating together, pregame meals. There's so much more to a basketball program than just showing up to the games and playing.
Ken Powell knocks down the jumper. We can't wait to see what Nease does the rest of this year. About to fall to 7-1. Smooth moves on a rim run for Abdul Manzare.
Nice move by Manzare. I like to see the young guys get in and take advantage of their time, you know, no matter how much time it is.
Thompson trapped. Gets it back out towards the top with Mark Mitchell. Final 10 seconds. That pass intercepted by Manzare. And Patterson will dribble out the clock. Once again, Providence takes home the Fortegra Invitational crown. They win it 59-40 over the Nease Panthers. And for the third time in 5 years, it's Jim Martin Stallions winning 3 games in 3 days. They were tested. They got all they could handle yesterday from Oakley. Seems like they learned their lesson. They seem to control the ball a little bit better today. They started to knock down those threes. And when that opens up the rest of the floor, it makes them that much tougher to beat.
You know, I think Coach Josh Balin, he rolled the dice. He decided to play a zone defense, which is not a bad idea. I think Coach Martin did a great job of exploiting the zone, going high-low with Mason Lee to Jalen Robinson. They were able to take advantage of the zone. They got great looks, mainly with layups with Jalen Robinson at the basket. So great job by Coach Martin.
We'll wait for Coach Martin to join us here in just a few moments. We will announce our all-tournament team. Get a chance to talk more about this Providence bunch. Meanwhile, for Nease, they will reset things, get back to the drawing board after a tough loss, but still a couple of big wins this week. They were tested. They knew they would be tested. They dropped this one 59-40 as we get all the festivities underway before we say goodnight to you. Providence again, another balanced effort, but led by Jalen Robinson with a big second quarter. That really seemed to be the difference after it was 8-6 after the first quarter. Coach Jalen Robinson, we've been talking about him and just how he can change games so fast. What was the difference in that second quarter when he opened it up for the rest of your team?
I think we were able to go inside out with him. He's a beast inside. It's a tough coverage for Nease, a little bit smaller, but he really dominated the inside paint.
I know you were joking with us the other day. You have 10 guys that can start on this team. Obviously, they all can't, but they all can find ways to chip in and contribute. Guys like David Fonville, again, hitting shots off the bench, providing defense. What do you like most of it? Just how balanced, how versatile this group is.
I like the fact that we've got 10. I like the fact that we're balanced. I like the fact that we make the effort on the defensive end as well. I think we're a pretty good offensive team that can really shoot it and fill it up. But the defense is what's going to win the games for us. And I take a lot of pride in it. I think this group's starting to take a little more pride in their defense as well.
And then moving forward, is that the key? What else are you guys trying to focus on with a tough December schedule coming up?
I think we got to clean up the turnovers. You know, the turnovers tonight are, some of them are unforced turnovers. They're in a zone, and we're turning over with some bad passes, careless passes. And we got to tighten up on that a little bit. We didn't shoot free throws tonight, but I think we got to tighten up late game free throws as well.
For now, we'll let you celebrate. Third Fortegra title in 5 years. Jim Martin in Providence.
Thank you.
Top of the class once again. Thank you for stopping by. Congratulations.
Nothing better than winning a championship. Thank you.
Another trophy to add to the case, in that Providence trophy room. We'll get ready to announce our all-tournament team, which includes 3 Providence players. We'll come back with our trophy presentation next.
What makes us unique is just service. We control as many variables as we can. We do all of our own decorating, we do trophies, we do banners, and now we create our own uniforms in this building with this new sublimation process that we have. Just the last 21 years just have been incredible at how the business has evolved.
My name is Roland Bell. I've been with Bono since 1990, and I'm a pit boss. I started out as a dishwasher, and then I went from dishwasher to a prep. And after that, I wanted to learn how to cut. And here I am now, been cutting since 1990.
There's something special about cooking out in the backyard. Beautiful out here today. There's nothing like cooking home with your family and sharing food with the people that I love. Barbecue is all about bringing people together.
Because everybody loves barbecue.
Our roof that was built 21 years ago, we'd had a few leaking issues and just wanted to be prepared before hurricane season. We have a company where we do electrical contracting. Knowing what it takes to go to a construction project, I was very impressed with the orchestration of this entire project with Covenant. They, I would say, under-promised and over-delivered, so I would highly recommend them.
Another Fortegra Invitational in the books, and once again, for the 3rd time in 5 years, it's Providence prevailing. A big second quarter paves the way for another championship. Now time to make it official. The Stallions celebrate once again, doing a little dance. And right, Toby, this is kind of that first step for a lot of teams. It's okay, how do we find ways to win 3 games in 3 days? What lessons do we learn before really ramping up before districts in January?
You know, for Providence, you know, they've proven that they can win a tough game. You know, Oakleaf provided them with their very first real test of the season, with the exception of the IMG game, probably from a personnel standpoint. But, you know, it's a great confidence boost. Coach Martin did a good job of getting into his bench. Several guys had an opportunity to contribute, which was great. So this is a great test, a great start of the season for them. I look forward for this Providence team to be playing late in February.
Now that's the expectation every year, huh? After 25 wins and a heartbreaker in the regional final last year, they recommitted themselves. They're back to business, and they know just how special this team can be. Plenty to work on for the Stallions, like Coach Martin said, but a lot to be happy with. And now starting with our all-tournament team. Devin Kirsch of Oakleaf. An impressive effort yesterday, nearly led the Knights to a big comeback win. He's on there with Bryson Utter, and then, of course, can't be a tournament without the big 3 from Providence. I know they had those contributions, but it was really Arias, Lee, and Robinson that stirred the drink and really helped provide a lot of the opportunities for this team.
You know, that big 3 is special. They play well together. You know, Mason Lee is the perfect complement to Jalen Robinson because he's taller player on the perimeter, and Jalen Robinson needs somebody to make those duck-in passes to him, and no better player to do it than a taller player. Usually that's a smaller guard, and that's a tougher pass for a smaller guard. So it's great to have a teammate with that size on the perimeter that can get you those post feeds.
Yeah, really pick your poison. Goodness gracious. All 3 of them at about 6'6". Those 2 guys right there. One signed with UNF on the left, and Lee on the right. Arias committed to Jacksonville last month. Jalen Robinson, question mark? Feels like he's going to be having some offers pour in sooner than later.
But can those 2 guys win a recruiting battle to get Robinson to come play either at JU or at UNF? That's the question. Or does he go to another A-Sun team, you know? But it's fun to see the kids here play together. You know, they'll remember this day, you know, for the rest of their lives. And this is what it's all about for the kids, going out and competing, representing their respective schools and competing hard. And a great community event with Fortegra, this tournament with Alan Verlander and team Airstream Ventures, what they've been able to do. You know, 5th year with this tournament. Hopefully it continues. It's a great thing.
So many great sponsors to thank, so many great teams to thank for 3 full days of great basketball along the First Coast. But once again, make no mistake, it's Providence ahead of the rest of the pack. Thanks to Jalen Robinson's monster second quarter, the Stallions hang on to a big halftime lead and win their 3rd Fortegra Invitational in 5 years. We'd like to thank you for watching the 5th annual Fortegra Invitational presented by the CSI companies. Lots to look forward to. We'll keep our eye out on all these teams and players throughout the course of the season. We know they're not done at all. Big thank you to Gemstone Media for producing this event and our friends at WJXT in Jacksonville. For Toby Frazier, this is Sean Salisbury signing off from the Florida State College at Jacksonville.